What if your greatest power lies not in what you say, but in what you choose to keep silent? Pause and let that sink in.
When was the last time you held your tongue and felt the room shift, the air grow heavy with your unspoken presence? Was it a moment of restraint, a deliberate pause, or is it so rare it feels like a forgotten art? Most of us spill our thoughts, our fears, our desires in a flood of words, handing others the map to our minds, the keys to our weaknesses. But those who master silence? They're the ones who command, who outsmart, who move through the world untouchable. Your words have betrayed you, haven't they, giving away your edge in a careless breath? So let me ask you, raw and urgent, do you speak louder in silence, or are you shouting your secrets to a world that's listening too closely? Most people lose because they talk too much, revealing their vulnerabilities while others quietly take note. Every word you speak without purpose is a crack in your armor, a signal to those who know how to play you. You've felt it, haven't you? The sinking realization after a heated argument, a rushed reply, a moment of oversharing, when you knew you'd given them the upper hand. Your impulsive words, your need to be heard, your reflex to fill the silence, they're not strengths, they're traps, exposing your thoughts, your insecurities, your predictable patterns. The world doesn't outsmart you because it's cleverer. It outsmarts you because you're an open book, your pages flapping in the wind for anyone to read. Why do you keep writing their script when you could hold the pen? Let me tell you about Emma and Lucas. Emma, 28, was a sales rep who thrived on charm but lost deals because she couldn't stop talking, oversharing strategies, reacting to clients' bait, revealing her nerves in every rushed word. One client, sensing her eagerness, negotiated her down to a fraction of her commission, leaving her deflated. Lucas, her colleague, was different. At 35, he spoke little, listened intently, and paused before responding, his calm unnerving. In the same meeting, he let the client talk, watched their cues, and closed the deal at full price, his silence commanding respect. Emma's words cost her. Lucas's restraint won him power. Emma later learned from him, practicing silence in her next pitch, and saw the shift. Clients leaned in, uncertain, intrigued. Does that stir something in you? Have your words given away your power too? The moment you said too much, the sting of losing ground, because your tongue moved faster than your mind. You know the moments, when you've argued to prove a point, only to expose your doubts. When you've filled an awkward silence, only to reveal your fears. When you've spoken because it felt expected, not strategic. You've been your own betrayer, haven't you, handing others the tools to outmaneuver you with every careless word. It's not just a slip, it's a surrender, a quiet gift of your power to those who listen while you talk. You're tired of being outplayed, of being less than the force you could be. Why do you keep speaking when you could command in silence? The psychology is stark, almost brutal. Your need for validation, your fear of silence, your impulse to connect, they drive you to speak, exposing your mind to those who study you. Emma lived it. Every word was a bid to be liked, every outburst a plea to be seen. But being seen isn't power, is it? It's vulnerability, a neon sign to manipulators who thrive on your openness. You're vulnerable too. Every time you've blurted out your thoughts, every time you've reacted without thinking, every time you've filled the quiet because it felt heavy. Your words aren't just sounds, they're windows, and others peer through, reading your motives, your weaknesses, your next move. Silence, though, is a shield, a mystery that forces them to reveal themselves first. It's a skill you can learn, and it starts with seeing what they see. Your life's a stage, and you've been the actor who speaks every line, giving away the plot before the curtain rises. Emma played that role, her words a script others used to outsmart her, until she learned from Lucas and rewrote her part. You're on that stage too. Every time you've spoken too soon, every time you've let their bait pull you in, every time you've lost because you didn't hold your ground. It's not weakness, it's waste, a squandering of the power silence could give you. The world wants you loud, predictable, and easy read, but you're not a book, you're a cipher if you'll dare to be. What stops you from closing the pages and letting silence speak? To outsmart without words, you start with observation, the first skill of silent power. Watch their eyes, their tone, their pauses. They're telling you more than their words ever will. Notice what makes them flinch, what makes them push, what they want from you. Emma learned this, sitting quietly in meetings, seeing clients' tells, a fidget when they bluffed, a smirk when they thought they'd won. That knowledge gave her control, her silence a weapon they couldn't counter. You can learn it too. Observation turns the tables, letting you see their game while they think you're just listening. It's not passive, it's power, the kind Nietzsche revered, the kind that wins without a word. This is your moment to shift the game. Lucas won because he saw, because he held his tongue, because he let others speak their weaknesses into the silence. You can win too. Look at the moments you've spoken too much, the arguments you've lost, the deals you've fumbled, the respect you've let slip. They're not defeats, they're lessons, pointing to the power you've yet to claim. The world's not your master, not unless you let it be. You're still here, still breathing, still holding a spark of the strength words can't steal. So stop now, right now, and vow to practice 1 hour of deliberate silence today. In a meeting, a dinner, a debate, listen, watch, don't speak. See their cues, their motives, their game. Swear to start, to outsmart them with your silence, to never be outplayed again. Your power's waiting. Claim it before the next word slips out. What if you could bend the world to your will without uttering a single word? Imagine yourself as a force, your presence a quiet storm that shifts the air, your silence a blade that cuts through others' defenses. Friedrich Nietzsche, the philosopher of raw power, saw life as a crucible for the strong, where the greatest triumph is self-mastery. His will to power isn't about shouting or dominating. It's about controlling what you reveal, commanding through restraint, outsmarting others by being the enigma they can't crack. Your careless words, your impulsive reactions, they've cost you, haven't they, giving others the edge while you scramble? So let me ask you, with fire and urgency, what if silence is your sharpest weapon, and you're only now learning to wield it? The most powerful man is he who is most silent, for he has mastered himself, Nietzsche wrote, a piercing truth that redefines strength. Here's the harsh, unflinching reality. You're not outsmarted because you lack intelligence. You're outsmarted because you lack discipline, spilling your thoughts while others study you like a chessboard. You felt it, haven't you? The moment you spoke too soon, the sting of realizing your words gave them leverage, the quiet loss of power when you filled the silence they were waiting to exploit. Your need to be heard, your reflex to respond, your failure to pause, they're not quirks, they're chains binding you to a game where others move first. The world doesn't beat you because it's smarter. It beats you because you're loud, and silence is the language of the strong. Why do you keep shouting when you could command? Nietzsche's philosophy is a clarion call to overcome yourself, to forge a will so potent it needs no words to assert itself. His will to power is about mastering your impulses, channeling your strength into a presence that unnerves, influences, and prevails. Silence is its vessel, a disciplined choice to observe, to conceal, to let others reveal their cards while you hold yours close. Your habits of speaking freely, of reacting instantly, of filling every pause, their weaknesses, signals to those who know how to read you. Most fall into this trap. They talk, they react, they expose their minds, thinking noise is strength. But strength is the pause, the gaze, the silence that forces others to falter. You've fallen too, haven't you? Every time you've blurted your plans, every time you've argued to prove a point, every time you've lost because you didn't hold your ground. But loss isn't your fate, not yet. Let's look at Nietzsche's own life. He wasn't a loud man, he was a thinker, a writer whose words carried weight because they were deliberate, his silence a canvas for ideas that shook the world. When debating with scholars or navigating social circles, Nietzsche often listened, observed, and spoke sparingly, his restraint unnerving those who expected bombast. His power lay in what he didn't say, the mystery he cultivated, the control he wielded by letting others expose their motives first. You're in a similar arena, reader, surrounded by those who'd outsmart you if you let them. Your workplace, your friendships, your battles, they're fields where silence can be your sword, if you'll learn to swing it. Why let others read you, when you could be the one reading them? You felt the cost, the way your words have betrayed you, the way your reactions have given them the upper hand, the way your noise has drowned your strength. You've been outplayed, haven't you, speaking when you should have listened, reacting when you should have paused, losing because you didn't see the game. It's not just a loss, it's a theft, a quiet robbery of your power by those who know the value of silence. You're tired of being outmaneuvered, of being less than the force you could be. I see you, standing at this edge, your silence waiting, your power ready to surge. You're not here to lose, you're here to rule. So why do you keep talking when you could conquer? Your life's a battlefield, and you've been fighting with the wrong weapons, your words a shield that cracks under pressure. Nietzsche stood on his own battlefield, his silence a strategy that disarmed his rivals, his restraint a power they couldn't match. You're fighting too, every time you've spoken too soon, every time you've let their bait pull you in, every time you've lost because you didn't pause. It's not defeat, it's distraction, a squandering of the strength silence could give you. The world wants you loud, predictable, an easy mark, but you're not a mark. You're a master if you'll dare to be. What stops you from holding your tongue and seizing the game? To wield silent power, you must learn strategic restraint, the skill of pausing before you speak, of assessing before you act. It's not about shutting up. It's about choosing when to reveal, when to conceal, when to let them talk themselves into your hands. Practice it. In every conversation, pause for 3 seconds before responding. Use that moment to watch their eyes, their tone, their intent. Are they pushing? Probing? Hiding? That pause is your power, your chance to see their move before you make yours. Nietzsche's restraint made him a force. Your restraint can make you one too. It's a skill, reader, and it starts with discipline, with refusing to let your impulses speak for you. Nietzsche's vision isn't a dream. It's a strategy, a way to outsmart by being the one who sees, who waits, who wins. Look at the times you've lost, the arguments you've fumbled, the moments you've given away your edge, the respect you've let slip because you spoke too soon. They're not failures, they're lessons, pointing to the power you've yet to wield. The world's not your master, not unless you let it be. You're still here, still breathing, still holding a spark of the strength words can't steal. So stop now, right now, and vow to pause for 3 seconds before speaking in your next interaction. Watch, assess, control. Swear to start, reader, to outsmart them with your silence, to never be outplayed again. Your power's waiting. Seize it before your next word escapes. What would happen if you became a puzzle no one could solve, a force no one could predict? Picture yourself moving through the world like a shadow, your silence a weapon, your presence a riddle that shifts the balance of power before a single word escapes your lips. Friedrich Nietzsche's vision of self-mastery finds its sharpest edge here, in the art of silent strategy, where you outsmart others not by speaking, but by observing, controlling, and timing your moves with lethal precision. Your impulsive words, your unguarded reactions, they've cost you, haven't they, handing others the tools to outmaneuver you? So let me ask you, with urgency that cuts like a blade, what if you could win every battle without saying a word, wielding silence as your sharpest sword? The philosophy is as potent as it is profound. Outsmarting others silently demands Nietzschean discipline, a will to power that thrives in restraint, in the mastery of what you reveal and when. It's not about being quiet. It's about being strategic, turning silence into a mirror that reflects others' weaknesses while shielding your own. Your habits of speaking freely, of reacting instantly, of filling every pause, their vulnerabilities, neon signs that tell the world how to play you. To master silent strategy is to break these habits, to cultivate observation, emotional control, and timing that let you steer the game without opening your mouth. Most don't master it. They chatter, they react, they spill their minds, thinking noise is influence. But influence is the pause, the gaze, the silence that forces others to falter. Why let your words betray you when you could let your silence command? All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable, Sun Tzu wrote, a truth that aligns with Nietzsche's call to overcome through cunning. Silent strategy is your warfare, a deliberate choice to deceive by concealing, to attack by waiting, to win by letting others expose themselves first. Your careless words are your defeat, each one a map to your motives, your fears, your limits. Silence, though, is your deception, a mask that hides your intent while others reveal theirs. Most fall short. They speak to be seen, react to be right, lose because they can't resist the urge to fill the void. You've fallen too, haven't you? Every time you've blurted a response, every time you've argued to prove a point, every time you've lost the upper hand because you didn't wait. But defeat isn't your destiny, not yet. You're a strategist if you'll dare to wield the art. The world outsmarts you because you're an open book, your words a script others read with ease. Every time you speak without purpose, you hand them your playbook, your insecurities, your triggers, your plans. They don't need to fight you. They just need to listen, to watch you unravel yourself in a flood of noise. Your need to be heard, your fear of silence, your reflex to respond. They're not strengths, they're shackles, chaining you to a game where others move first. Silence, though, is freedom, a strategy that flips the board, forcing them to play their hand while you hold yours close. Most will never learn. They'll stay loud, predictable, easily outplayed, their lives a series of reactions to moves they didn't see. Why stay shackled when you could be the one pulling the strings? Your life's a chessboard, and you've been a piece, moved by others' hands because your words gave them the map. Nietzsche's world was no different. a clash of wills where only the disciplined thrived, their silence a weapon others couldn't counter. You're playing too, every time you've spoken too soon, every time you've let their bait hook you, every time you've lost because you didn't pause. It's not loss, it's leakage, a draining of the power silence could preserve. The world wants you loud and easy read, a pawn they can nudge, but you're not a pawn. You're a king, if you'll claim the board. What stops you from moving in silence and seizing the game? To master silent strategy, you must learn emotional masking, the skill of hiding your reactions to gain the upper hand. It's not about being cold, it's about being unreadable, keeping your face neutral, your tone steady, your eyes calm, even when the pressure mounts. In a tense conversation, a negotiation, a confrontation, let their words wash over you without a flinch. Don't smile to ease the mood, don't frown to show you're hurt, don't shift to betray your nerves. That mask is your power, forcing them to guess, to overreach, to reveal their intent while you stay a mystery. Practice it. In your next heated moment, hold your expression still, your voice even, and watch them falter, unsure of your next move. Emotional masking turns silence into strategy, letting you see their game while they see nothing of yours. The fire roars here, where the air hums with possibility. Silent strategy is a rebellion, a defiance of the noise that binds you, a step toward Nietzsche's vision of a self so disciplined it needs no words to win. Most won't rebel, they'll stay loud, their lives a cacophony of reactions they call strength, their power lost because they fear the quiet. They'll lose not because they're less, but because they're legible to a world that thrives on their openness. You've been legible too, haven't you? Every time you've shown your hand, every time you've spoken to fill the void, every time you've been outsmarted because you didn't mask your heart. But legibility isn't your name. You're a cipher, a storm, a force that can shift the game with a single pause. This is your crucible, your moment to forge or falter. Nietzsche's will to power is yours, not in noise, but in the silence that commands, the strategy that wins. Look at the times you've lost, the arguments you've fumbled, the respect you've let slip, the moments you've given away your edge because you spoke too soon. They're not failures, they're lessons, pointing to the power you've yet to wield. The world's not your master, not unless you let it be. You're still here, still breathing, still holding a spark of the strength words can't steal. So stop now, right now, and vow to practice emotional masking in one challenging interaction today. Stay calm, unreadable, a puzzle they can't solve. Swear to start, to outsmart them with your silence, to never be outplayed again. The board's set, move in silence, and let your strategy win. The world kneels to the one whose silence commands, whose presence outsmarts without a word. Envision yourself as a sovereign, your silence a scepter, your restraint a crown that bends the will of those around you. You've shattered the habits of careless speech, mastered the art of observation, and forged a discipline that makes you untouchable. Friedrich Nietzsche's vision of the will to power finds its apex here. In the silent sovereign, a figure so self-possessed, so strategically unreadable, that no one can outmaneuver them. Your impulsive words once gave others the edge, didn't they, revealing your mind while they played you like a pawn? So let me ask you, with a fire that won't wait, can you become so powerful that your mere presence shifts the game? Your silence a force no one dares challenge? Most will remain loud, predictable, and easily outplayed, too afraid to embrace the discipline of silence. They'll spill their thoughts, react to every bait, and lose the upper hand because they can't resist the urge to speak. You've seen them, chattering to be heard, arguing to be right, their lives a cacophony of noise they mistake for strength. They're not weak, they're undisciplined, too tethered to the comfort of words to claim the power of restraint. That's the tragedy of unchecked speech. It promises influence but delivers exposure, leaving you vulnerable while others wield your openness like a weapon. You're not meant to join them. You're meant to rise, a silent sovereign in a world of noise, your power unmatched because you've mastered what they can't. Why settle for their chaos when you could rule in silence? Nietzsche's philosophy is your throne, a call to overcome yourself and wield power through self-mastery. His will to power isn't about domination through force. It's about commanding through presence, outsmarting through strategy, winning through the silence that forces others to reveal themselves. Your habits of speaking too soon, of reacting without thought, of filling every pause, they've been your chains, signaling your moves to those who know how to read you. But the silent sovereign breaks these chains, turning silence into a mirror that reflects others' weaknesses while hiding your own. Most won't rise, they'll stay pawns, their lives a series of reactions to moves they never saw coming, their power lost because they fear the quiet. You've been a pawn too, haven't you? Every time you've spoken to fill the void, every time you've given away your edge, every time you've lost because you didn't wait. But loss isn't your name, you're a sovereign if you'll claim your crown. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable, Sun Tzu wrote, a maxim that echoes Nietzsche's vision of power through cunning restraint. The silent sovereign is a warrior of deception, not through lies but through silence, a strategic absence that disarms, unnerves, and prevails. Your words, when careless, are your surrender, each one a crack in your armor, a clue to your intent. Silence, though, is your fortress, a deception that hides your strength while others expose their flaws. Most will never learn. They'll speak to be seen, react to be relevant, lose because they can't master the pause. You've lost too, haven't you? Every time you've blurted a response, every time you've argued to prove a point, every time you've been outsmarted because you didn't mask your mind. But surrender isn't your fate, not yet. You're a strategist if you'll wield the art. Nietzsche's world was no different. A clash of wills where only the disciplined thrived, their silence a blade others couldn't parry. You're fighting too. Every time you've spoken too soon, every time you've let their bait hook you, every time you've lost because you didn't pause. It's not defeat, it's distraction, a draining of the power silence could preserve. The world wants you loud, predictable, an easy mark, but you're not a mark. You're a monarch if you'll claim the throne. What stops you from ruling in silence and seizing the game? To become the silent sovereign, you must master sustained observation, the skill of watching others' patterns over time to anticipate and influence their moves. It's not a one-off glance, it's a discipline, a commitment to study the people around you daily, noting their habits, their triggers, their tells. In every interaction, observe their tone, their gestures, their silences. What do they want? What do they fear? What do they hide? Keep a mental ledger, tracking their behavior across encounters, building a map of their motives. This sustained observation is your power, letting you predict their next move while they guess at yours. Practice it. For 1 week, dedicate 5 minutes daily to observing someone in your life, a colleague, a friend, a rival, and note one pattern in their behavior. That knowledge is your scepter, your way to outsmart without a word. The fire roars here, where the air crackles with possibility. Sustained observation is your rebellion, a defiance of the noise that binds you, a step toward Nietzsche's vision of a self so disciplined it commands without speaking. Most won't rebel, they'll stay loud, their lives a clamor of reactions they call life, their power lost because they fear the discipline of watching. They'll lose not because they're less, but because they're legible to a world that thrives on their openness. You've been legible too, haven't you? Every time you've shown your hand, every time you've spoken to fill the quiet, every time you've been outplayed because you didn't see. But legibility isn't your name. You're a cipher, a storm, a sovereign that can shift the game with a single glance. This is your coronation, your moment to rule or falter. Nietzsche's will to power is yours, not in noise, but in the silence that commands, the strategy that wins. Look at the times you've lost, the arguments you've fumbled, the respect you've let slip, the moments you've given away your edge because you spoke too soon. They're not failures, they're lessons, pointing to the power you've yet to wield. The world's not your master, not unless you let it be. You're still here, still breathing, still holding a spark of the strength words can't steal. So stop now, right now, and vow to practice sustained observation for 1 week. Watch, note, anticipate. Swear to start, to outsmart them with your silence, to never be outplayed again. The throne's yours, claim it, and let your silence reshape the world. What will you do with this power? The silent sovereign doesn't just win. They redefine the game, their presence a force that shifts the world without a sound. Nietzsche's path is yours. Master your silence, see the board, claim your crown. Most will stumble, too scared to embrace the quiet, too soft to wield their power. You're different. You're the spark in the dark, the storm in the calm, the sovereign they didn't see coming. Your world's waiting, fiercer, brighter, yours. Step into your silence, unapologetic and radiant. Break the noise, forge your power, and let your presence be a force no one can outsmart. The choice is yours. Make it today and let your silence rule.